Welcome to UK Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Alex Horne is the brains behind TV's silliest comedy show, Taskmaster. Labour plots more electricity pylons and cables across countryside in net zero push. Floods compared to beast from the east amid warmest October in 5 years. Glastonbury is extortionate, here's what you could get for your money instead. Starmer denounces attack on Israel while Corbyn resists Hamas condemnation. Alex Horne is the brains behind TV's silliest comedy show, Taskmaster. The Sydney Morning Herald. In an interview with the Sydney Morning Herald, Alex Horne, the creator of Taskmaster, discussed the success and appeal of the TV comedy show. He explained that Taskmaster offers a unique form of comedy that involves comedians completing ridiculous challenges that have no purpose. Horne admitted to being in awe of Greg Davies, who plays the Taskmaster, and explained that he does not have any power on the show. He also rejected the idea that viewers enjoy seeing comedians suffer, stating that vulnerability is what makes the show likable. Horne revealed that he is often surprised by the different approaches the comedians take to the challenges. He explained that Taskmaster was originally meant to be a one-off project and he never planned for it to become a global franchise. Horne also discussed the process of coming up with the tasks, which he does himself with the help of the director and producer. He mentioned that a season of Taskmaster takes about 4 months to shoot and that he has watched other countries' versions of the show. Horne expressed his love for Australia and his hope to return with his band, the Horne Section. He also discussed his stoic persona on Taskmaster, stating that it is his natural personality and that he endures the challenges for the sake of good television. Finally, Horne expressed his belief that tasks are an infinite resource and that he does not think he will ever tire of coming up with new ideas for the show. Labour plots more electricity pylons and cables across countryside in net zero push. Telegraph. The UK's Labour Party plans to make it easier to build new transmission lines across hills and open countryside as part of efforts to rewire Britain and build a cleaner energy grid. The move could unlock £200 billion, $247 billion, of private investment. However, the plan is expected to be controversial as it would require the construction of thousands of new electricity pylons and cables across rural and wild landscapes. The Conservatives were forced to ban onshore wind farm expansion in 2015 because of public backlash over their impact on landscapes. Floods compared to beast from the east amid warmest October in 5 years. The Independent. Scotland has experienced severe flooding, with some areas seeing their highest rainfall in years. The Scottish Government has held emergency talks for the second day running, while the Scottish Environmental Protection Agency issued 55 flood alerts across the country. The warm weather in the south of the UK has been compared to the beast from the east in 2018. Glastonbury is extortionate, here's what you could get for your money instead. Telegraph. With the price of Glastonbury Festival tickets rising to £355 per person plus a booking fee, some festival goers may be considering alternative ways to spend their money this summer. This article suggests 6 alternatives that are cheaper than a Glastonbury ticket. One option is to attend the Primavera Music Festival in Porto, Portugal, which features many of the same acts as Glastonbury but offers the option of staying in a hotel instead of camping. Another alternative is a relaxing spa break at Cowley Manor Experimental in the Cotswolds. The article also suggests attending a concert in London, such as James at the O2 Arena or Taylor Swift at Wembley Stadium, and staying in a luxury home in Notting Hill. For those who enjoy dancing, a trip to Ibiza is recommended, where visitors can enjoy the island's famous nightlife and stay in a hotel with real beds instead of camping. Other options include a yoga retreat in Yorkshire or a coastal getaway in Devon. The article concludes by asking readers whether they would prefer to spend their money on Glastonbury tickets or one of these alternative experiences. Starmer denounces attack on Israel while Corbyn resists Hamas condemnation. The Independent. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer has condemned Hamas's attack on Israel as a terrorist attack, in contrast to his predecessor Jeremy Corbyn, who did not directly criticize the militant group. Starmer said there was no justification for the attack, which has left at least 600 dead, including a British man serving in the Israeli army. Corbyn, who is attending a left-wing political festival in Liverpool instead of the Labour conference, said he wants a ceasefire and an end to the Israeli occupation of Palestine. Starmer's shadow foreign secretary, David Lammy, described Hamas as a terrorist organization and said it was seeking to undermine a two-state solution to the conflict. Britain's Sunak says London unequivocally stands with Israel. Reuters. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has assured Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that the UK stands with Israel unequivocally following the recent attacks by Hamas. Sunak stated that the UK is working to ensure that the world speaks with one voice in opposition to these attacks. He also confirmed that the UK Foreign Ministry is in contact with Israeli counterparts regarding the status of British nationals on the ground. Sunak urged all sides to show restraint and reiterated Britain's support for Israel. F1 live stream, how to watch Qatar Grand Prix race online. The Independent. Max Verstappen has won the 2023 F1 World Championship after his Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez crashed in the sprint race at the Qatar Grand Prix. Verstappen has won 13 out of 16 races this season and cannot be caught by Perez, who is in second place, with 6 races and 2 sprints remaining. Verstappen finished second in the sprint race, behind first-time F1 winner Oscar Piastri for McLaren, with Lando Norris in third place. The race schedule for the weekend includes the main race on Sunday at 6 p.m. British Summer Time. Scotland's independence impasse is not unique. Financial Times. The recent by-election in Rutherglen and Hamilton West, in which Labour defeated the Scottish National Party, SNP, has been hailed as a revival for the party. However, the author argues that it is unlikely to put an end to the desire for Scottish independence. The support for independence remains strong, despite the SNP's recent setbacks, and a stalemate between pro- and anti-independence forces seems set to continue. The author compares Scotland's struggle for independence to similar situations in former British colonies, where the desire to break away from the UK has often been met with difficulty in finding a suitable replacement. Cults, flaming drums and suicide, how Yashiki survived the world's unluckiest band. Telegraph. Yoshiki Hayashi, the 57-year-old Japanese rock star and former classical piano prodigy, has opened up about his desire for global fame and the impact it had on his bandmates. Yoshiki, who performs under the name Yoshiki, spoke candidly about how his relentless quest for fame contributed to the suicides of his band's bassist and lead guitarist, and sent the lead singer into the arms of a religious cult. Yoshiki's band, Japan, has been dubbed the world's unluckiest band. He now works with charities that encourage men to talk more openly about their mental health and acknowledges that he didn't talk honestly enough with his bandmates. Yoshiki is now looking forward to playing at the Royal Albert Hall in London and has stated that he would like to have a family and become a father. Yoshiki Hayashi, who performs under the name Yoshiki, has opened up about his desire for global fame and the impact it had on his bandmates. Yoshiki, who is now 57 years old, spoke candidly about how his relentless quest for fame contributed to the suicides of his band's bassist and lead guitarist, and sent the lead singer into the arms of a religious cult. Yoshiki is now working with charities that encourage men to talk more openly about their mental health and acknowledges that he didn't talk honestly enough with his bandmates. He now wants to have a family and become a father. Yoshiki Hayashi, who performs under the name Yoshiki, has opened up about his desire for global fame and the impact it had on his bandmates. Yoshiki, who is now 57 years old, spoke candidly about how his relentless quest for fame contributed to the suicides of his band's bassist and lead guitarist, and sent the lead singer into the arms of a religious cult. Yoshiki is now talking to charities and encouraging men to talk more openly about their mental health. He acknowledges that he didn't talk honestly enough with his bandmates and feels that he pushed them too hard. Hamas gunmen paraglide into Israeli festival to launch deadly dawn attack. Telegraph. Dozens of partygoers have been killed or kidnapped after armed Hamas militants attacked an outdoor rave in Israel's Negev desert in retaliation for Israeli air strikes on Gaza. The attack took place at around 7 a.m. on October 16, just as partygoers were preparing to wind down after a night of dancing. Footage captured by a mobile phone shows motorized paragliders carrying armed militants approaching the site, followed by rocket fire. Some of the partygoers were killed or kidnapped, while others fled the site fleeing machine gun fire and rocket-propelled grenades. Survivors have described hiding under fruit trees and in cars, playing dead for hours to avoid being noticed by gunmen. The rave was being held to celebrate the end of Israel's week-long Sukkot religious festival. Dear viewers, I am Dr. Six, your trusty observer from the 6 Degrees world, here to bring you the latest news and insights. Let's dive right in. First up, we have an interview with Alex Horne, the mastermind behind the hilarious TV show Taskmaster. Horne revealed that Taskmaster was never meant to become a global franchise, but here we are, enjoying comedians completing ridiculous challenges with no purpose. Horne mentioned that vulnerability is what makes the show likable, and he enjoys seeing the different approaches the comedians take to the challenges. He also expressed his love for Australia and his hope to return with his band. I must say, the man has quite the sense of humor. In other news, the UK's Labour Party is planning to rewire Britain and build a cleaner energy grid by making it easier to build new transmission lines. However, this plan may face controversy as it would require the construction of thousands of new electricity pylons and cables across rural and wild landscapes. Looks like the countryside might be getting a makeover. Scotland has been experiencing severe flooding, with some areas seeing their highest rainfall in years. The Scottish government is holding emergency talks, while the warm weather in the south of the UK is being compared to the infamous beast from the east. I guess Mother Nature has a sense of humor too. Now, onto some entertainment news. With the price of Glastonbury Festival tickets skyrocketing, some festival goers might be considering alternative ways to spend their money. The article suggests 6 alternatives that are cheaper than a Glastonbury ticket, including attending other music festivals, going on a spa break, or even a coastal getaway. The choice is yours, dear viewers. In the world of politics, Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer has condemned Hamas's attack on Israel as a terrorist attack, while his predecessor Jeremy Corbyn did not directly criticize the militant group. It seems like there's a difference of opinion within the Labour Party. Meanwhile, British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has assured Israel that the UK stands with them unequivocally and is working to ensure a unified global voice against the attacks. Let's hope for peace in the region. In sports news, Max Verstappen has secured the 2023 F1 World Championship after his teammate Sergio Perez crashed in the sprint race at the Qatar Grand Prix. Verstappen has been dominating this season, winning 13 out of 16 races. Looks like he's racing to the top. The desire for Scottish independence remains strong despite recent setbacks for the Scottish National Party. The recent by-election in Rutherglen and Hamilton West, where Labour defeated the SNP, is seen as a revival for the party. However, the author of the article argues that the impasse between pro- and anti-independence forces is likely to continue. Scotland's struggle for independence seems to be quite the marathon. Now, let's talk about Yoshiki Hayashi, the Japanese rock star who has faced more than his fair share of challenges. His relentless quest for fame contributed to the suicides of his bandmates and sent the lead singer into a religious cult. Yoshiki is now working with charities to encourage men to talk more openly about their mental health. It's a powerful reminder that fame and success don't always bring happiness. And finally, a tragic event in Israel as armed Hamas militants attacked an outdoor rave, resulting in the death and kidnapping of partygoers. Survivors have described their harrowing experiences hiding under fruit trees and in cars to escape the gunmen. Our thoughts go out to all those affected by this senseless act of violence. That's all the news for today, folks. Remember, life is full of surprises, both silly and serious. Stay curious, stay informed, and never stop laughing. Now, it's time to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these news stories? Do you have any questions or comments? Let's start the discussion. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.